The first card you got is Five of Wands upright. So it tells me that you're in some kind of competition. But it's not like a, trying to think of it. It's not like a fight to the death. It's, pretty friendly, okay? It's probably in the work environment. I do see this as a work reading, okay? If you're looking for love, I'll look for what I can or try to see what you can in it. But right now, I just see business. Okay, so with this Five of Wands, it's just, you're having a competition. It's kind of like a sport. This talks about being diligent, having a new desire and being bold. And just kind of, you've been working really hard. You've been gritting your teeth and you've just been working. But there could be some kind of a creative conflict with somebody that you work with or somebody that you're going to school with. Because this talks about there could be some clashes with someone. And for love, it could be you're clashing with your partner and you're breaking up. But because this is like fake fighting, it's not real. You see, they're just holding up their sticks. They're not actually trying to knock anybody down, okay? So that's a good thing, right? You would think so. But this says just make sure that somebody, like a partner at a job or partner in a relationship, make sure they have true intentions and don't just make snap judgments, okay? Also, it says, sort out different areas of your life so you don't take it with you. And you'll move past a conflict to be stronger. If you're looking for love, it's going to come when you're truly ready. But I mostly see this for work. So there's a creative conflict with someone that could be, it's like a fight, but you have to pretend like you're not fighting, kind of like a sneaky fighting. So to clarify that, I got Five of Wands upright again from a different deck. So it's definitely what's happening with you, okay? There's just some kind of competition going on, and I think it's with work because it's talking about struggling for riches and fortune and gaining gold. But in this work environment, or possibly in a relationship, we got the King of Cups in reverse. Okay. So this tells me that your needs aren't being met and it's not a peaceful time. So this fake fighting, looks like you're pretending not to fight, but you pretty much are, okay? It's not a really good time. You could be depressed and you're running from problems. Like, you're not really fighting, but you should be. Somebody could be emotionally manipulative. There's some kind of injustice going on. I think it's funny that we have injustice going on here because your card, Libra, is the Justice card. But there's some kind of injustice. There's a rogue person among you, somebody who's dishonest, and it's creating scandal. And this usually means a dishonest man. But however, since this is a general reading, gender doesn't matter. But it may be a dishonest man for some of you. And this person, if it's you or not, I'm not sure. They're just repressing a lot of things. They're not sure about their motives, or they know, but they're just denying it. Somebody may have some kind of an agenda against you, and they deny it. They're trying not to, but they really do. That person's running from himself. He's just false, okay? To clarify that, I got the Six of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups in a work reading usually means somebody who's been at the job for a long time, okay? But it also talks about a past lover returning, okay? But basically, I think you've been naive about this fake fighting because it's in reverse. And it says that you're going to get freedom to move on and don't be stuck in the past. And you may maybe just like a little unrealistic about what's going on. If it is somebody that says you could reconcile with them from your past, maybe it's a friend, okay? Maybe in the past you had a friend who was kind of like a frenemy. They were just a false person. And then maybe they come back and apologize because they realize they were the King of Cups. And then you guys reunite and you get together and just kind of go over your past memories. But for work, this means somebody, like a coworker at the job who's been there a while, they're your frenemy, and they don't want you to be there. Moving on, we get your card, Justice, and it's upright. So this lets me know, this is definitely for you, not like for some random sign. Not that I would think that would happen, but it's saying that you're accepting responsibility for something and you want justice. And you may actually get it. It says you'll be victorious, there'll be equality, you're being objective. But it says you need brutal honesty. I mean, here we have, your intellect, and then we have emotion and intuition. So you're balancing those, but it's time for a decision. Okay. If you're seeking love, this says you're going to seek real love. Basically, you're unable to change any events that have happened, whether it's in love or the work environment. And it says you're going to advance when you start understanding the past. Okay. And that may be why this person, you reconcile, you start understanding what happened in the relationship. Or if you just start understanding, like, hey, this person at work is really my frenemy. If I can understand that, then I'm going to be able to advance. I'm not going to be unrealistic or naive. But it's time for a decision, okay? Be objective, because you're probably going to become a new person. And maybe you just don't really know, like, how good you are at your job. Or you don't know how much you're worth, and so you settled for a relationship in the past. Or you settled for a job that, somebody there doesn't know your worth. Could be a boss. To clarify that, we got 3 of Pentacles. This talks about teamwork, okay? Or it can just talk about a union. Okay, so if you're wanting to get with somebody, you could. At work, it's talking about joining a team or joining a job. So you may really want to join a job. But this also talks about, if you've seen the pictures before of the Universal Tarot, it may say, you get your self-esteem from your job, and you might feel judged. Because in the other picture, there's 2 people, and they're watching the guy use his skills. So he's good at his job, and so you're good at your job, and you get your self-esteem from it. And just as you're doing your best, or you're hanging up your awards, somebody's coming in and they're judging you. I think it's this King of Cups person. Then the next card that fell out was 7 of Cups upright. So this tells me there's a lot of options and there's a lot of potential. And you're gonna attract success because of who you are and how good you are at your job. But it just talks about something's amiss. If it's with lovers or with coworkers, something's off. It's wrong. It's not right. It's not fully right. And then if it's dating, you just have a lot of choices. Okay. Just looking at all the cards, seeing what I got. I think I'll pull some more clarifiers later, but see, I mostly get this for love. But maybe you have a lot of choices when it comes to getting a job and you don't really know. You need to make a decision about where you want to work. Or you need to make a decision about leaving a job and picking another job. But since it's upright, you're not deceiving yourself. That's good. You're not deluded anymore. If you got, clear-headed and you realized what's going on, you're clear-headed now and you're like, well, maybe I'm just going to leave this job, or maybe I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm not going to settle anymore. I realize that I'm worth something. I'm getting my self-esteem back from my job. I'm worth something. I'm not settling, whether it's for love or a job. But to clarify that, we got the World in reverse. And this is ruled by Saturn, so it's usually scholarly things, work, success, long-term planning. So that's why I think this is mostly about work, because almost every card in here seems to talk about work. But if you notice, the earth sign and the fire sign aren't looking at the woman in the middle. the water and the air signs are. Okay, so be looking out for somebody who's a water or an air sign. It could be a fellow Libra, over here. Okay. If you're trying to decide between a water sign and an air sign, it doesn't really say which one, but maybe that's what you're trying to decide between. Maybe you're trying to pick something that you're passionate about or something that really hones in on your emotions. See, normally this is about victory. And I'm not saying you're not going to have a victory. It may be that you're successful, like you made that choice. You're successful, and then it's just kind of anticlimactic. Not that you're not grateful, it's not everything that you thought it was going to be. And then if you did work really hard to get through school, and you graduated, and you joined a team, and then here is the culmination. But here it's this is why I went to school all this time for this job. And so then maybe you're trying to decide to go somewhere else or do a different career. It says if you did succeed with something, that it's almost like you found out something else that you're going to have to do. There's one more hurdle. But don't give up, because you're almost there. Okay? You're almost complete, just not yet. And this also could just be your world got turned upside down. And maybe you chose a job or you left a job and then your world turned upside down. If it's about love, maybe there were 3 people involved and you were trying to make a decision whether to leave this person, or because you didn't really know your worth and you've settled, or somebody was dishonest or unfaithful to you, represented by the 3 of Pentacles. Because I do see that a lot for unfaithfulness, and it's really mostly a work card. And then somebody had too many options, and it could have been you or the other person. And whatever happened, it turned your world upside down. Maybe you weren't chosen. If it's love, maybe somebody came back and they're like, hey, let's get together. And you just kind of settled and it didn't work out. So you're like, man, why did I even give it a chance? Because this talks about a distorted self-perception. It could be body issues. It's something. Because remember, you don't know your own worth. And so here, this means you don't have options, but you really do. You just don't know it. Okay? You're very successful. You're very attractive. You attract success everywhere you go. So I'm not sure what the self-esteem issue is about. And if this is about a job or even a relationship, it was anticlimactic. You thought, I did all this work and this is what I get. It's just I was wanting something more. So this could mean that you feel trapped, obligated or trapped by duty, whether it's for a job or a relationship. And this long-held dream that you've had just kind of lost its appeal. It's just not what you thought it was going to be. Or because you have this obstacle, maybe you're kind of losing your willpower to keep doing it. Because do I really want to do this extra hurdle to get there? And, this says to keep going. And it also talks about fleeting success. So here with the 3 of Pentacles, you're very successful at your job. You have good skills. So you've got success. And then it's somebody comes in and judges you, and all of a sudden, you've lost your success. It was fleeting. You couldn't hold on to it. It was slippery. It's not that you're not able to. It's just you lost the chance. It could have been a promotion, could have been an award, could have been a competition with others at a job, or you didn't get the job. They said somebody else got the job. They had more whatever for you. And so you're oh, okay. I really thought I was going to get it, but now they're telling me, well, you need a little bit more education, or you need this. Somebody else had this and you didn't. So there's one more thing you need to do, or one more thing you need to have. But this says don't give up, because, if you do that, you're going to be there, you're going to get it. And even though you've lost this success or this opportunity, it says there's going to be another opportunity in the future. Okay? So it's a good thing. This also says return to judgment. Now, we don't have judgment in here, but this says to go back to it. Judgment talks about transforming. There was some kind of decision made, and you were shown to have some kind of a weakness. And it could be that you just didn't see yourself in the right light, because, whatever you see yourself as, that's how other people are going to see you too. That's what you project. And again, this talks about if you're going back to judgment, you could have settled for an abusive relationship. Maybe you didn't weigh the pros and cons, or you did, and you just decided to settle. But basically, there needs to be some kind of a resurrection or a recovery, an awakening somehow. Like, there should be a deliberation. And then get free to be happy. It also talks about, you could have had poor judgment on something. Like, you had all these choices and you didn't make the right choice. It could have been to settle. Maybe you stayed at the job you were at and you should have left. Okay? Because then you lost some kind of success because somebody had some kind of agenda against you. When the Five of Wands is with this card, it talks about, like, your purposes aren't crossing. So you're kind of at odds with somebody. You have different purposes for what you do, and so you're not integrating them. And if it's for a relationship, then you guys just aren't seeing eye to eye. This also says don't rest on your laurels. Don't rest on your success, okay? Because you're not just going to have one success. You got to keep going to keep and stay successful. And maybe you kind of rested after you got this job thinking that was it. It could just be, you were successful, you got some position you did want, and then everything was just kind of normal. Nothing was climactic. There wasn't this big, huge climax like you would expect. And so something just lost its appeal. I mean, that's for some of you. There's a lot of different meanings, so I'm trying to give you everything I can. Yeah, that's what I see for that. I mean, it could be that this obstacle that you have is really an opportunity in disguise. Okay? If something's incomplete, you could be insecure, and that's why you're settling. And also, if somebody took your awards away because they were judging you, that could really make you insecure, and you already don't feel very good about yourself, even though you're really good. So just go back to judgments. Look at some of the choices you made and see if there's something you could do differently now. Next card you got, Five of Cups in reverse. This tells me there's some news coming that, you're looking at these things you lost, but there's still stuff behind. Okay? But you're not looking at those, or maybe you're going to start looking at those things that are left. Again, talks about, return of an ex-lover. Sorrow's over. There's going to be some unfinished business that will be settled. You'll build bridges with people. Your troubles will end. And just an overall renewal and happy feelings. Okay, so this is good. Then we got Nine of Pentacles upright. So if that's about a relationship, the way you're going to reconcile is by being happy while you're independent and successful. I see there's a culmination. So normally this is the culmination of something, but it didn't really work out. And so you're going to reconcile with somebody. Your troubles are going to be ending. You're going to get some good news. Like, remember, you're going to have another opportunity. And I think that's when it's coming up. Okay. So there's some news coming. Your troubles are going to end. And then, ta-da, culmination. Okay. So I told you it's coming back, right? And then, it talks about, restrain yourself. If somebody is acting, in distaste, you're going to restrain yourself. You're going to be poised. You're going to be graceful. You're going to have tact and just be diplomatic with someone, whether it's a relationship or not. And you're going to celebrate your accomplishments. You're going to reach your goal. And when you reach that goal, it's going to protect you from troubles. Basically, you're going to be independent. You're going to be grateful. And even have, money and luxury. And you're going to enjoy the good life.